Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Age of Fear with me, Cornish-Knight. Sorry for the lateness of the videos, and I haven't posted them in a couple of days for this, but we were trying to fix some of the graphical issues that we were having with the screen tearing. It hasn't really worked out, but hey ho, it's just how it is. So you just had to put up with it. The game is really good, and it's only happening on the recordings, guys. It's not happening on the actual gameplay if you play the game. One thing I will say is that this game is slightly... it's still like... it's a little bit more advanced than the one that you guys will get. I think it's someone pointed it out to me. Either that or the patch hasn't been put through just yet for you guys. It is slightly more... the version is slightly more advanced than the one I think is slightly out. I'm just checking to make sure I haven't got anybody up to update or give equipment to. And once we've got that done, we'll push on. Right. And I think they're all done. Yeah. And there's no items that I want to get them, I don't think. Also, I apologise if the background music is a bit loud. I had to do a factory reset of the settings. So, some things have been tweaked, unfortunately, and I'll get them sorted if it becomes too much of an annoyance. Right, we're selling off. We need some money because I want to upgrade our main keep of our main base operations. So for that, we're going to need cash, a lot of cash, because 6 grand is not cheap, especially when I have to buy gear and equipment and everything else on top of it. If that's everything, I think we're okay, yeah. I'm not going to buy any more people either. I'm okay with the amount of people that we have. For one more royal guardsman might be nice. We can't get potions here. Right. So, let's go to here. I know they sell potions in this place. We'll buy the bloke a potion that we need to get. I like my guys to have potions, to be honest. It's very, very helpful for keeping them alive, especially on the harder difficulty settings. On the harder difficulty settings, you need literally everyone to have a healing potion. We'll grab the mana crystal. Do you want to do a random battle? I don't know. Maybe we just put someone in the main story right now.
The next few days of marching were mostly peaceful. There were a few skirmishes between scouting parties and greenskins, but Edward wasn't involved with them. The army was rapidly approaching the fields of Grey Rock. The landscape was devastated. It had been burned and plundered almost beyond recognition. Bodies were strewn about the road and fields. The next day, the army was able to see the citadel. It was besieged by greenskins. The horde circled the city walls, their smoky fires darkening the heavens. Tybalt called to Edward during lunch. "Sir Edward." "Good morning, my lord. I haven't seen you for several days." "The king's business leaves little time for social calls, I'm afraid." "I see. And what important tasks are you working on today, sir?" "Actually, I was going to summon you after lunch. I might have a mission for you. The king ordered me to find a capable candidate." "How may I help our cause?" "The village of Westland is east of here. Our reports say that it has yet to be destroyed by the horde, yet the few scouts we've sent to enter the village have not returned. King William would like someone to investigate the settlement, and I think you would be perfect for the job." "Of course, my lord. Is there anything else I should be aware of?" "Well, there were a few disturbing reports from the village just before the invasion of Grey Rock. The reports were of missing people and disappearing cattle, but those issues were addressed by the local militia and were never brought up before the court in Redcastle. Also, there was a lone monk spotted a few days back, headed in the direction of Westland. Please keep your eyes open." "Thank you, my lord. I will gather some men and ride out immediately." "Good luck, brave."
Yeah, we need to fix the audio. The background music's too loud. You can't hear the voices as easily. I am going to just turn the ambient music off. Yeah, I'm just going to turn it off. I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'm just going to keep it off for the time being. So, we have our marching orders. We need to go and investigate a village. Yeah, I know the screen shakes, folks. It can't be helped. I mean, the game is really good quality, so I don't mind it.
Sir Edward's company reached Westland undisturbed after a 2-day march. The village looked peaceful from a distance, but they saw neither people nor animals. There was no activity to indicate that anyone was living there. Not even a single dog barked. The air had a mysterious quality to it, one foul and unfamiliar. Edward gathered his men and delivered a message with as much courage and certainty as he could muster. "We will enter the village now. I do not like it, but we do not have a choice. It is best to go now before darkness falls. Have your weapons at the ready and keep close. Be on the alert for anything and everything. Let us move." The party moved slowly among the cottages in the direction of the village center. The pointman reported the sudden appearance of some humanoid figures near the main hall. As the soldiers approached, it was obvious that these figures weren't peaceful villagers. Their movements were awkward, and they didn't seem to react in any way to the party's advance. In fact, Edward had the feeling that the bodies were not moving of their own free will. One of the soldiers pointed to a single figure which seemed to be running in the direction of the party. "Sire, that is the Holy Father we are looking for." The young soldier's eyes were much better than Edward's. "Help me!" the monk yelled at the knight and his party. Edward did not have time to come up with a plan. He grabbed his sword, mounted his horse, and charged forward to rescue
So
the
we're
monk.
fighting the undead by the sounds of it. Right. So let's level them. None of them have what we need. Right. So we can buy a royal guard here. So I'm going to buy one. Just because I think I need a bit of extra muscle, especially if we're fighting the undead. I don't want to go in against the undead with too many range units. Right. Plus, spending money now will save us losing money in the long term if we lose units. So let's buy some healing potions. What I wouldn't give to have a magic user right about now. Yeah, let's grab intelligence for him. A healing potion. I could really do with a magic user. Perhaps. I don't like stun isn't too bad, but it lowers his defense, which would be balanced out with the shield. But I could buy quality armor for him. That would be nice. Questions indeed. Bone candle, perhaps. It would allow us to command the undead. Oh, it can only be used by spellcasters. Yeah, I've forgotten about that. Pardon me, I was having a quick yawn. Right, to battle awaits us, as long as we have everything we need. Do we want an antidote? Not a lot of enemies use poisons and stuff at this stage in the game, so I don't think we need it. We have a fairly good party. It's going to be very much down to skill. "Run for your lives, we are doomed," screams the monk. "Hold, what is going on, Holy Father?" declares Edward. "Dark forces have overtaken the village, the dead rise from their graves," screamed the man. "Soldiers, protect the Holy Father, line formation, forward." Let's see what we're facing. Skeletons, zombies, necromancer in the back, judging from his glowing red staff, because red is always a sign of evil. So, first let's line up our troops. How do we want to do this? The zombies are going to be a pain because they've got a lot of HP, and at the moment we don't have a lot of damage dealing units. So they're going to be mostly damage sponges. The skeletons are probably going to be the main threat from my experience. From what I remember playing of the original Age of Fear so long ago, skeletons tended to have better stats but lower health, and zombies tended to have worse stats but more health. So, yeah, let's see what we're facing. First we need to get the cleric downfield and away from stuff. So he's resurrecting skeletons all over the place. Zombies are slow moving. So it really is. We had to be careful of the skeletons, to be honest. Yeah, they've got relatively okay attack and defense. And these guys are carrying around enhanced equipment, probably because of the difficulty scaling that we're on. The zombies are terrible, which is a good thing. I got blood vials, which is a healing potion for my experience for them. Now, the necromancer is going to be the worst thing because he's got a lot of nasty abilities. Chief amongst them is life drain, which you can just see down there. Life drain basically allows you to drain life from a living opponent and then heal yourself with it, which is pretty bad, especially if you hit them with their full health, because then you take, if you're full health when you hit them with, I should say, you take double the amount of health from the character. But first things first, we are going to kill off the skeletons. The skeletons are going to be the main threat to us, because they will literally are the ones most likely to hit our units. Zombies are annoying because they're damage sponges, so it's like a death from 1,000 cuts with them. But the skeletons are the things we need to fear right off the bat, especially considering our units have low health. So he's popping up more skeletons. And I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to do this. We'll probably want to try and bypass the main horde and try and get to the necromancer. That's normally how you would do it, in my experience. You want to bypass the main host and deal with the summoner, because at least that would distract some of the enemy units towards you as you're dealing with the summoner. So let's get up here, and we're going to kill off the skeleton. The zombie is unlikely to hit us. So we should have a bit of confidence, and if we can drag some of the skeletons out of the battle line, it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, missed. Missed. If we can try and break up their attack so it's not as solidly, if we can break up their attack so it's not one solid mass, and they can come on us in bits and pieces, it would also help our chances as well.
Splendid.
Let's push up with our units and try and pull some of them away from our hero, so that he may get a chance to flank around and attack their summoner, or their caster, I should say. Because we want to go up here with his segmented movement. Don't want to get too close to him though, because if we get too close, he'll hit us with life drain, which will make him, which would do a lot of damage to us. So we have to sort of hold off. A number of the skeletons will come back to cover him like this, which means we won't be able to get attack off. Jacob screams as the sword cuts into him. What now, Jacob? Sir, it hurts. It's just a scratch. Take it like a man. I don't like Edward, to be honest, the paladin bloke. Like, in this early phase in the game, from what I can remember about his personality, he comes across as being a pretty much a self-entitled brat. So, first off, we are going to heal him, which will use up some of our characters' magical points. We will use our range units to damage the zombies, because the zombies are vulnerable to ranged attacks, rather than for skeletons who are massively resistant to ranged attacks. But at least standard archery or piercing attacks. That's not great. I was hoping that we were going to be able to kill that guy this turn. Those skeletons are not going to. We're not going to be able to chew through them, and we will run the risk of getting hit by a life drain if we get too close, which is not something we want to do. And there's no way to like flank around, so oh, let's go down here and deal with some of the zombies. Oh, we missed that. I don't believe we missed that. Oh, crit 1, that's why we got a crit miss. You can see in the top left-hand corner. More zombies being resurrected. And we actually managed to take a hit. And Edward, like, it's alright, Lucifer, thank you for asking. Man, they got a crit hit, that was why. That was the only reason they hit us, was a crit hit. Typical. At least we managed to break up some of their cohesion.
Here's my message.
Let's shoot that zombie up here, so that we spread our damage out a bit, maybe force some of them to pop out their potions that they're carrying. Edward is going to fall back. I mean, I could potentially start hacking at these skeletons, but we just get mobbed by more units, which is not something that I want, so we're going to fall back.
You have my sword.
Right. I probably want to cast Bless on someone at this point. Bless allows you to have a better chance at hitting undead enemies. But I'll probably hold off a little bit longer. Ouch. And he gouges out an eye. What I wouldn't give for a fireball right about now. Necromancer's pushing up so he can get in range to start casting Life Drain, which is not something we want. So we'll charge the cavalry unit up here. That's probably going to pull a couple of the skeletons off us to go and attack Edward. We'll cast Bless on him, which will give him a better chance at hitting the undead because he's on the flank. And you can slash that guy up. Archers continue to focus fire on the zombies. Knight. Who do you want to go? If we pull him back, he'll just get jumped by the skeletons, so just cut that one down. That's going to be a lot of attack. I might just have to aggressively attack this turn to cover him. I don't want to, but it may be the only thing we can do. So we're going to kill this zombie off. Move him up. And hope that the zombies don't swarm a single unit, because I'll lose some of my guys if I'm not careful. He rezzed the skeleton. He managed to miss. With a crit miss as well. That guy's got a cracked skull. So not as many units were dragged off as I was hoping.
This shall be a glorious day.
I do not want to eat a life drain from this guy. So we'll pull back and kill the skeleton off. Right. This is going to get interesting.
Here's my message. On it. Taste my
We need to get rid of these skeletons quick, because they are the main threat.
They won't notice.
We're going to heal him.
Should I go?
For the king.
Slash that guy open. Or smash that guy open. And we'll start smacking up the undead. And all we can hope for is that they don't send a zombie, because I think he's just within range of the zombie's movement, so the zombie may just go straight for him. He's raising a skeleton. It's not great. Since I'm already combat and won't get the charge bonus, I'll charge in here and we'll smack the skeleton up.
War is coming.
The mage user won't get his mana points back because they don't get mana points back if they're in melee combat. So we'll soften up the undead here.
Here's my message.
No mana points left for him.
They won't notice.
Gouge out one of the zombie's eyes, not that he needs it. And then we finish him off by cracking his head open like a melon. Zombie is heading down this way.
Try to stop me.
And we can do that, or just start chewing through him. They have relatively low morale, so it's not going to be an issue.
Commands.
We'll bless. Who do you want to bless? It was always so hard to choose. I'd rather just maybe say, probably should move him and save up the health points. Move him up here so we can go and help
Fight for the king.
fight the necromancer. And he's running for it, which is annoying. It's annoying because it's also annoying that I've got both of my royal guardsmen injured.
Fire. Here's my message. To glory.
So yeah, there we go.
Notice.
Finish those guys off. So that's all taken care of.
To victory.
And we finish off the necromancer. Necromancer screams, "Stay down, ye evil bastard," screams the monk. "Holy Father," declares Sir Edward. Oh, right, I got carried away. "You are a true knight, Sir Edward. Your sword should always follow your heart. My sword usually follows my enemy's heart. It's more practical," mutters the knight. Right. So, time to loot and plunder. As I said, I had to reset my stuff to default settings. So, and I forgot to turn the auto loot function back on. So we're having to do this the old-fashioned way.
War is coming.
Brute Brew. Brute Brew is nice. The Dwarf Sword is really nice, and that's actually something really useful because I can switch out my Greatsword for the Dwarf Sword so I get a bit more balanced stats. And Noble's Cloak isn't too bad.
Rush on them.
Can't remember the full effect. I know it buffs your defense stats. Potion of Magic, or Potion of Mana Restoration Potion, which is really nice because now we've got a Cleric, he'll need it.
Yes, my king.
So what else is there? I'm going to turn off the hub just for a second just so I can move my stuff around and see stuff better. You can do that by pressing the spacebar button. Right. A Pearl, which is really useful because we can hit the mermaid again, but an enemy spawned.
To victory.
I got Diseased as well, which is annoying. Disease is a stat debuff that some units have, or some units generate. They generate the stat debuff, and every time you hit them or they hit you, it's a percentage chance that they'll get infected with this disease. Right, I don't think there's anything else that we can loot.
Saddle my horse. You have my sword.
No, I can't see anything else. So we're going to end the battle.
Sir Edward hacked and slashed at the fallen body, but still it continued to move. He slashed the animated corpse's head off, and it finally lay still. A soldier screamed, "What are these creatures? What kind of magic would do this?" "I do not know, but a good sword can put it out of its misery eventually." Edward looked around and asked a nearby footman, "How about the rest of those things?" "All dead and immobile, sir. We managed to finish them all off, though I am not sure that they will not rise again." "And where is that robed man?" "Also dead. I saw him fall, and he has not moved an inch since then. I cut off his head just to be safe." "I think our work here is finished. Let us gather our men and leave this foul and evil place." Edward and his party left Westland before nightfall. No one wanted to see the ghost village anymore, and surely no one wanted to be there at night. The foul presence they'd first encountered had disappeared with the death of the necromancer, but the mutilated bodies of the reanimated peasants were a silent reminder of what could have happened to them. 2 days later, Sir Edward reached the army camp, which stood in uneasy watchfulness, preparing for the coming battle with the Greenskin horde. Edward immediately rushed to the king's tent to report on the mission to Westland. He was unable to reach the king, but Tybalt was waiting for him. "We received a report about necromancy yesterday. Thus your words are no surprise to me." "Have you heard of such creatures before, sir?" In the last war, there were a few incidents. The Holy Church has the knowledge and power to deal with unnatural things, and King Edward has already sent messengers to them for aid. Do you think we shall confront them again? I do not know for sure, Edward. There is not much we can do now, but if those creatures return, then we will deal with them as you did last time. Thank you, my lord. Go and sleep, Edward. You must be tired, and you shall surely need your strength in the coming days. Here is some money for your services. You are proving to be a capable commander, and we shall doubtless need your company in peak strength when we move against the Greenskins.
So, they sort of knew about the undead already. Ooh, the bazaar is here. The bazaar is very useful. It normally only lasts for 24 hours, so we better go to it soon. Sooner rather than later. We can't do the mermaid. We'll grab the extra mana crystal, because we need to get 8 of them. Your party discovers a long-forgotten graveyard. After a quick prayer to pay their respects, your heroes move on. I wonder how that will work when we have the necromancer hero. Well, let's go to the bazaar and see what they have. First of all, we need to basically level our units up. Oh, so close to getting veteran, but I'm going to get noble. It's not as good, but it gives me a nice defensive buff and gives me a bit more health, which is something that he needs. Veteran, which is always nice. And he has the Zombie Slayer ability, which is very useful. And nothing else. Save up to get Elite. Or some of the other stats. Veteran is very nice as well. Or I can hold off and get him Royal Guard. No, I'll get Veteran. What do I want to? Hard questions. Hard questions. No, I'll get Veteran, and it won't be too much experience for him to level up. And Veteran's more useful than an upgrade to a new unit type. Get Veteran for him. Pay for his eye to be fixed, because he needs to have it fixed. But that's going to put him out of action. And they were close to becoming veterans too, which is annoying. So, if we get intelligent, it won't be long for them to level up. Yeah, intelligent. I'll get intelligence as well, so it gets a bit more experience early on, so we can start accruing that experience points earlier on. Buy a healing potion to buff for the monk, and mana restoration potion for him as well, so not to buy it but to equip it, so he has some quick bottled courage. Got to take off the quality greatsword and put on the dwarf sword. I mean, mace is, I'm not a fan of it. Clumsy is a really nasty ability. I don't like it. Fire wand is awesome, but yeah, +1 to attack and defense, which means he'll be a lot more well-rounded. We can also equip the quality shield as well now, which is really nice. I mean, it's a basic quality shield, but it gives us more defense. Right, what do you want to give him? Lots of lovely things. Lizard mask, nice. Noble's cloak. 1 defense, +2 to morale, or plus 10%. I think I've got to take the +2 to morale, because if our hero breaks, it's going to be a really bad thing. So Noble's cloak goes on. Plus he has the horse, which is good. He's got this holy pendant. He's got this ring of strength. He's got all that stuff. Divine Cross is a fantastic item to find, but it can only be used by spellcasters. Frost Brooch is, it's okay. Scroll Tutoring is useful because it gives your units more experience when you buy them. Swamp Berries isn't too bad either. Poison resistance and defense. But as it stands right now, I'm trying to save my money, so we probably won't buy anything, which is a shame. I mean, he's a lot more well-rounded than he was. But I think that's everything we want to get, yeah. Don't think we need to get anything else. It's hard to tell. But for now, I think this is a good place to stop for the day, lords and ladies. So, as always, if you have liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Steam, you can leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll get back in contact with you. I do suggest you check out the Age of Fear series. They're a very, very, very good series of games. But that's just my personal opinion. But I won't let that stop you from looking into them. He's done 3 of them. I've played all of them. And as I previously said, sorry that I haven't had any up recently because I was trying to fix the glitches. But as you can see, until next time, folks, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.